What's up, everybody? Spencer Lazara here, MMA Interviews, and we are with my old friend Phan live and direct from Garden Grove. I'm out here in Las Vegas. I'm actually headed your way here tonight, but just for a night. We are going to talk about your Bellator debut against Mike the Marine Richman here Saturday, a week from Saturday, I should say, in San Diego. Pretty exciting, a kind of a new chapter in your long career, right?
Yes, you know, I'm excited to start not start over, but continue with my career with Bellator, with old friends like Scott Coker and Rich Choi and all the Strike Force folks.
Yeah. And it's a good platform and a big card. This Bellator card, relatively close to home. I mean, there's a lot of pluses for this. And how do you feel about the fight itself and your opponent?
I'm excited, I'm always excited when the opponent comes to fight, instead of just coming to win just coming to win by points. You know, um, you know, um, I want to come have a good showing. I want to show a good showing. I want the audience to have a good time at the event as well.
He's a pretty good boxer, and I think that's something that's your strong suit, of course. Do you expect this to be more of a boxing match?
Yeah, I hope so. I think at least a brawl at least. Those are always more fun to watch instead of just two guys. I'm just kind of laying and praying on each other.
Mhm. He really goes for it. He's a southpaw. I mean, have you had extra work wanting to work with the southpaw for this fight, or is it just kind of the same old kind of working on you?
Um, yeah, the southpaw is very tricky to work with, but I'm just gonna do my best. Do my best. He's tough. He's tough, and southpaw is always tricky. And yeah, I haven't done too much to change up for this fight. Just been trying to grind it out. Every day keep the weight low, and that's the
Mhm.
plan for this fight. Just trying to grind them.
Yeah, I mean, I know how hard you're always running. You're always in shape. Talk about this camp. I'm you're obviously at your gym a lot, but you had a little trip over to Hawaii and had some time with the guys at Hawaii Elite over there, and just talk about everywhere you've been doing your work.
Yeah, I fought in Japan recently, and then I came back and I got a call from Bellator to do a fight in San Diego. So luckily I didn't take too much damage in the Japan fight. So I don't I didn't I was always in shape. I was already in shape from the last fight. I just kept going with it. So I like to stay in shape. And I was in Hawaii for some family events. I had to train with guys, Gracie Elite like Max Holloway, no, Gracie Techniques, Max Holloway and Dustin Kimura. Yeah, those guys are really good, and kick my butt into shape.
Talk about the fight in Japan and how that went for the people who didn't see it.
Yeah, I fought for Pancrase recently, and it was good. I fought the number one ranker in Pancrase, and I was able to submit him in the first round.
What was the submission?
Rear naked choke.
Nice. And talk about how things were in the UFC and obviously had some bad breaks, some great fights. I mean, talk about where you're at in your career and where you see yourself going from here.
Yeah, UFC had a good time. UFC, is definitely gonna check that mark off my list. You know, uh, UFC is somewhere that everybody wants to fight, and I was very thankful to have the opportunity to fight for them. You know, the elite, I guess, as everyone said, the elite mixed martial arts organization in the world. Um, and I did my best. I made a lot. I made good money there, and now I get to fight for Bellator. I get to continue to fight for a big show. And I noticed that now since there's Scott Cohen's in town, the commotion is gonna get bigger. Looking at his stats with Strikeforce, he does a very good job building fighters and building his brand.
Um, like, how long do you think maybe you'll be fighting for? I mean, how does your body feel? I mean, it's something I think that's an interesting topic about wear and tear on a fighter who's been doing it for a long, long time. How do you feel in comparison to how you felt, when you were younger?
Um, I don't know. I still feel pretty good. You know, for a person, I'm not that old. I'm only 31, but for a fighter, um, that's old.
You've
I'm
had a
gonna
lot
have
of
a
fun.
few more years left, f- of a fight left in me. So I'm gonna do my best. I still feel pretty good. I probably, I eat cleaner now. My diet is much better, so I probably feel better now than I was when I was younger. I feel I have better gas and much more energy now. Um, just more educated in the way I approach life.
Did you always run as much as you do now when you were a younger fighter?
When I was younger, I ran more, but then I think now, um, I'm talking to other fighters, for this reason, that reason, I run less and more. And certain days I go longer, and some days I go shorter, but I still run every day.
You see a lot of other fighters not putting in that work, and I mean, I see it in your fights. Like you're able to just to keep on going, kind of like a Diaz brother does. It's just like it's a nonstop pace. Do you think that has a lot to do with that?
Yeah, you know me, I'm not like a top 10 fighter, so like those guys that don't put in as much work, they're probably super talented. They don't feel like they need to put in as much work. They can party, and you probably still be a top 10 guy in the world. But someone like me, I'm not super athletic. I'm not super strong. Not super fast. So for me, I feel like I gotta do more. I gotta train a little more. I gotta run a little more, eat a little cleaner, and to try to stay at competitive level. And even all that, it doesn't even mean you'll be, you know, um, at that level. But you just gotta try, right?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Um, do you feel like your biggest advantage in this fight would be jujitsu? Even though I think you guys match up very well standing, is that kind of where maybe things are the best for you?
Oh, for sure. If it gets to the ground, I think I definitely have the advantage. But jujitsu, you gotta get there first. If somehow I'm able to get to the ground, he has good wrestling defense, So if I'm able to get him there, I should do all right.
Talk about this Bellator card and any other fights that you're kind of excited about. There's some pretty cool stuff going on. We had a little bit of an injury there with King Mo's opponent, but it looks like the main and co-main are still intact.
The fight that I'm excited for most is the Melvin Manoff and Joe Skilling fight. That's the one I want to see. That's To me, that's the main event. That's a good one. Oh, TRT is Stephen Bonner. That's of course two big names, but I'm really excited to see Melvin Manoff and Joe Skilling. That's gonna be a good fight. That's
Pretty crazy.
Joe Skilling is the first MMA fight, right? And then
He's fought
uh,
a lot of MMA actually before, but his record was not good. He lost to Tony Ferguson. He's fought MMA,
oh,
but
has he? I didn't know
yeah,
that. Oh,
it's been a while. It's been years, but he has fights. So yeah, I'd say Manhoff still probably has a little more experience MMA wise, but it should be interesting with those little gloves and the way that those guys hit, man.
yeah, yeah, seriously. I was talking to some people, and they're saying maybe Joe Skilling has better kickboxing than Melvin Manoff. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I've only known Melvin Manoff from his MMA and his K1 fights.
Mhm.
I haven't seen too many of Joe's fights, but some of the guys are saying like, oh man, Joe in a kickboxing match would beat Melvin Manoff. Like, wow, he's that good, right? And um, MMA fight, let's see what happens. I'm very excited.
What are the differences when you're a kickboxer? I mean, glory the gloves aren't too big, but talk about the differences between blocking with MMA gloves and like trying to block with big gloves. With like I guess they wear maybe 10-ounce gloves or something in glory. They're not that big, but talk about that.
I don't know. I think this is more padding. The thing with boxing gloves is a little more padding. You're supposed to be able to take more damage, right? It's probably more entertain more damage now. MMA is supposed to be, in theory, supposed to be safer, less padding. So you get hit, you get knocked out, you take less damage. Now
Sure.
boxing is supposed to be more padding to take more damage. I mean, these are high level guys. If they hit you, you get knocked out anyways. But I mean, the whole purpose of boxing is to have that to throw more punches.
The ability though to block hard punches that like a guy like Joe Schilling or Melvin Manhoff are giving you. the ability to block those with MMA gloves versus like something with a little more padding is. Do you think that's a big difference?
Yes, I do. I don't want to get hit by any of those guys, but if I had a choice, I'd probably get hit with a boxing glove versus an MMA glove.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, where else have you been training? I know you moved to gym to a new place. You've been there for a good year now, right? Or more?
About that, yeah, about that, yeah.
Well,
Um, yeah. So usually my friend from Brazil, he did leave a black. He just recently came back from Brazil. He's helped me train for this fight, and I go to my black belt buddies like from OC, Carlson Gracie with Troy Acker and all the guys over there. Um, Adam Lin from Sub Fighter, Russ Mura, all the guys been helping me train. Of course, my boxing with Coach Art James and all the high level Cholo Mexicans from Team Punch Out. Uh, they're not Cholo Mexicans, but they're really good. They're like national. These guys are like national level boxers that beat me up every day, and they have a good time. You know?
that's great. How
Yeah.
long have you been doing all that stuff? I mean, it seems like you made a few changes over the years, with that stuff.
Yeah. I think the biggest change, I was doing CrossFit for like a few years, because all my other fighter buddies were doing CrossFit, and I kind of thought that it was kind of putting too much wear and tear on my body. I was getting too sore, too long, and I wasn't um, I wasn't performing too well in sparring, so I kind of cut that out. I just lift basic weights now. I don't do like 1,000 reps anymore.
Mhm.
It's just too much, and you gotta spar and run, and train like 3, 4 times a day. It's just too much.
Yeah, I don't think people really realize how much training and how much wear and tear it is on your body. I mean, I went through, I just did this little fight and it was like, I'm not training as hard as you. I mean, I'm training hard, but I'm not training as hard as you guys. And it's like, it's still so much that you really need to, train smart, so they say. It's definitely something that hit home with me
Yeah,
going through
yeah,
that.
yeah. Thank you. So I think it being strong, it's good for some people. I think it's great if you like it. That's cool. But for me, I didn't find it wasn't that I was getting it wasn't getting reaping enough benefits from the CrossFit. So I just went back to basic weight training. And nothing too nuts. I run, and after the run, I go do some weight training, and that's about it. But nothing nuts. I used to. It's too much.
Yeah, I remember the days pulling tires and
Yeah, it's
sleds and stuff.
that. It's too nuts. Yeah, it's just I'm just a martial arts instructor.
How many students do you have now at your facility?
It fluctuates. Like 60, 70 students. Yeah.
Good. Well, cool, man. It's always great to talk to you. It's been something since day one we've had, so it's like catching up on old times.
And thanks, Spencer, man. Of course, I love interviews, man. You're blowing up. I'm so happy and so proud of you, man. Yeah.
Well, hey, I remember the first day I went and got choked out by you. And, well, actually, no, you were so nice. You would take my back and you would, instead of choking me, which is a little more uncomfortable, you put me in an armbar. So that was very nice to do
You're good sports, Spencer. Thank you very much.
that. Cool. How much weight do you have to cut this one?
Oh well, I don't start really cutting until like the week of the fight.
Yeah.
So like right now I'm like 159, 160. So the week of the fight I'll be like 155, and then like towards the middle of the week I'll be like 145, and then probably like the day before the weigh-in I'll be like one. If I get out to 137, 138, then I'm done. And I'll walk off the next 2 pounds by the weigh-ins.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, very excited to see it. Are you going to be on the main card?
Yes, I'll be the first fight on the main.
Awesome. That's
I'm the
gonna be
opener.
great. Spike TV, I guess that's 7 p.m., I'm guessing, or
I think it's 6.
6 p.m.?
Yes.
Definitely. Don't want to miss that. Spike TV, Nam Phan versus Mike the Marine Richman. That'll be a great, it's a fun, exciting matchup, and I'm sure you guys will steal the show.
I hope so. Yeah. What Bellator needs to do though is get out fight bonuses.
I was
That'd
just
be
going to
great.
say that.
I'll win
Yeah.
all of them.
I'm sure Scott Coker's thinking about that now.
I hope so.
We'll have to
Hey,
link.
Viacom, man.
Yep. I think, as they move forward, I think it's something that will definitely come into play. You know,
I hope
whether
so.
that's 50,000 or not, but you know, there's got to be something there, I would think.
Hey, something's better than nothing.
Yes, sir. All right, Nam. Thanks for the time. We wish you the best of luck, and we'll definitely come visit after this fight. And you can. It's good. You can enjoy Thanksgiving. You can enjoy Christmas and eat. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, finally. They always call me. Yeah, Stevenson used to always call me like Thanksgiving or Christmas. I never get to eat or enjoy those holidays, so this time I'm gonna have some fun.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Best of luck. November 15th. You can catch it, of course, live on Spike TV. Nam
All right,
Phan.
all right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. See you, Spence. Bye, bye.